Okay, today's show we're gonna talk about is black women join the KKK to target black men part two. Now I want to do a part two of what happened when I was on a podcast called Dickly Wrap Up for. I gotta talk about that because these women are just pitiful. Join the KKK to target black men. Like, come on now. This is so ridiculous. Like these females are not our women no more. I gotta talk about this because these females are just evil and demonic. We gotta play this video right here because that don't make any sense. These females are KKK and black skin. Like, come on now. I mean, what's the point trying to talk to these females? Their minds are made up. They wearing Confederate flags. With like black men at all. Like, come on now. Here we go. We're gonna play this video right here.
What are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like, what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at.
All right, welcome back to another.
There is no.
That's what the conversation is happening.
But I mean,
Video. We're gonna play the video. We're gonna come back and give our thoughts on it.
so what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like, what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at.
I think for me, I think I want the coddling culture to kind of stop. I think they get validated a little bit too much and they're not held accountable as much as white men, Hispanic men, Asian men. Like the legal system works in their benefit a little bit more than they think it does. They're seen as the ultimate, like most oppressed. And I think that coddling culture needs to stop and they need to be held accountable for their actions.
Because we live in white male patriarchy, white men set what's socially acceptable. So with you all setting what's socially acceptable, the degenerate behavior.
Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
Honestly, before we started doing pod, I don't think I've heard women speak like this about like black men, and I know there's been like domestic relationships where men and women beat each other and primarily men are noticed for it, you know what I mean? But this hatred of, they would say what, self-delete or abortions or other, criminal aspects of, hurting each other. But I, still to this day, I haven't heard a man and I hear black men frequently say how much we need black women, how much we love black women. But on the other end, I just keep hearing black women say things like these women. And they're so comfortable saying it. And then they try to flip it on us with manipulation tactics or whatever the case may be. And I just don't see the same hatred coming from men. Imagine if you heard, if you did see some, send it to us. Let us react to that and let us hold that man accountable. But while we're watching this, let's hold these women accountable for saying what the fuck they're saying. You have black sons, you have black brothers, you have a black father 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So where's this? And I think it's all built on trauma that they get from their mama or another woman. Because a lot of women don't experience this hate, these things that the next woman hate a black man for. And I just want to know, where does it really stem from? You know what I'm saying? I truly don't understand. Like, I be trying to like, oh, you know, this is the reason. This is the reason. But the more I hear it, I really don't know. And I'm not saying that there's not some, you know, bad black men out there, but I don't hear these other groups of women talking about their men like this, whether it's on a public platform, because y'all yes girling and kikiing and TTing and all these other shit every time a black woman say something like this. And then when a black man replies, you know, we're in our feelings, immature, weak, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So those are my thoughts.
Again, this reminds me of another video that we had reacted to before, and it's very similar concept. And I think it was a white woman, black woman's appreciation for white men, like type of clubhouse. And in there, it was just like, oh, you know, black men belong in a coffin, and black men deserve to die, and you know, our mothers should have, you know, been left a black man. And it was such a,
there's no turning back, because these
are the type of females I'll be talking about, but yet I don't see none of these simp dudes ain't talking about that. They too busy worry about just pearly things, but they ain't talking about these females talking about, oh, black men need to die, this and third. Where's people on this one? So let's keep on going. I'm telling you right now, there are some women out there who do not like black men at all. See, that's proof right there. But no, they talking about I should have been aborted and all that dumb stuff. Like, come on now. Because I'm exposing these type of women, what they doing right now. Let's play this video. I'll get my commentary on this.
dusties are dusty. They just belong in a coffin.
I agree.
Ladies, I'm so happy that we loving white men, because they are the most sweetest, wonderful men. And you know what's so sad? Our mothers should have left the black men a long time ago.
I feel safe now that the dusties are in the gulags. When I look at the title, white men are better for black women.
it's just so horrible just to hear it. And then you think about the Cynthia G's and her having live call-in shows with other black women calling in saying maybe we should abort black male fetuses.
And the only reason I support aborting a black child when it comes to it being male is because when I look at the black community and the problems in it, it's associated with males and male pathology. When you talk about violence, it's associated with the males. When you talk about the, women being forced upon, it's the males. When you talk about drugs, it's the males. When you talk about the fatherless children, it's the males. Every single problem that is happening in the black community, you point to the males and then you have the culprit. So for me, I think that not selectively breeding is very irresponsible when you are the only one who has control over who gets to earth. Your womb, it carries the person to earth. So if you're the only one with that power, regardless of whatever he wants.
Like you said, I haven't heard on the opposite end black men saying anything as harmful or as hateful as the type of rhetoric I'm hearing from black women. And this could all just be the CIA, you know what I mean? Just manipulating with us and stuff like that. Cause these are people hiding behind a profile.
You thinking they
profile.
bots.
I don't put it past, you know what I mean? Like I don't put it past them. This could just be another, like you talk about COINTELPRO and stuff like that. This could just be another version of that. Like, trying to manufacture these gender wars to keep us separated, to keep us from coming together and then separate us even further. Like, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this stuff is fabricated. But still, when I do hear this stuff, I do want to bring awareness to it because these conversations are happening, whether it's organic or manufactured. And again, I'm not seeing that same hatred. And again, if y'all find those clips, like Drew said, send it to us because a woman has sent me a video of a man being very critical of black women. And she was like, oh, see, black men hate, that's their version of we hate women is us being critical of them. You know what I mean? And their version of us hating us is them wanting to actively harm us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know, Jeff, we talked about even abortions. And we was talking about from 1970 to present day, the amount of abortions that we had in the Black community alone is, I was saying from 18 to 20, like 24 million, and you were saying it could be past 30 million plus. And when you think about that number, that's literally a genocide of Black children, fetuses being unborn. Like, you know what I mean? We talk about the Holocaust, slavery, things that we associate as a very inhumane act, and we don't even realize, like, there's a whole genocide in our own backyard that we just dismiss. And now we even to the point where we're trying to vote to keep those type of we're trying to vote to keep genocide within our community. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose of us wanting to vote for abortion laws. And it's like, why are we voting for abortion laws when we could just get to the root cause, you know what I mean, of the issue, instead of going to the most extreme? And you're not even, women, from what I've been, the studies that I have read, like, abortion isn't being used as a medical procedure, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, you got, raped by whatever the case is. This is just because you wanted to be sexually liberated. You wasn't responsible. And now this is your get out of jail card for not being responsible. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we can't, listen, I could just go on a whole monologue about that, but it was very disheartening to hear this conversation. Jeff, what's your thoughts?
When Tommy Sotomayor was on my show last week, he had made a comment that I think a lot of people in a couple channels got a little upset and angry with him about how many Black women were being used as tools and right-hand mans of white supremacy. And between the bullet bag comments, the gender-based abortions if you're having a male child, this isn't going to make sense to people unless you look at it through the lens as this. There are white, liberal, extreme feminists that are anti-Black and are racist, that are female supremacists, that our Black women see as allies and vote just alike. So until we come to grips with that these women exist, they are not little. And sometimes the attitude and the disrespect and the vitriol and the hatred, there's a spectrum. You got it where it's just talking back. You got it too, they don't respect your authority. So you have these extreme cases and examples where they say, I can't wait for them to be the next George Floyd. We ain't protesting this time. Regardless of where they are on the spectrum, they're getting their marching orders from white, liberal women that are female supremacists and are misandrous, and they hate Black men and men, period. So just to clarify, if you're a Black man, and as I've said earlier, and I will always continue to say, those statements aren't coming out of a vacuum. This ideology isn't coming out of a vacuum. There are people that our women are listening to that's causing and creating much of the divide that we're talking about. And they're supporting them, they're working together, they're looking out for each other, and then when it comes to politics, they vote in alignment. So when you are a Black man, still in 2025, thinking that the women who think this way and whose minds are captured you are on the same team with them, you are not. You are not. And you should know it every time something comes up that involves a man or a woman. What's the women that vote that way? Who do they side with? Who's always the victim? Who's innocent until proven guilty? Is it we got to wait to the evidence, or is it believe all women? Which by default means disbelieve all men. You have to wake up to that reality. I don't know how many ways I gotta say it to people. It's not that the Republicans and conservatives are so amazing. What I'm suggesting is that type of stuff, that type of vicious, nasty attitude towards Black men specifically, we can no longer say that this is only happening amongst white people and on the far right. There are Black women who vote and follow every slogan, every trend, every talking point, and it's anti-family, anti-men, anti-boys, and anti-Black boys in the womb. When you get that and realize that, a lot of the prescriptions that men are making in this space, and the reason why we're raising the alarms right now, is because if you don't listen to us now as ladies and separate yourself from the women that act this way and talk this way, you're going to be left to end up being like all the women that's giving all this feedback and advice to everybody else, but doesn't even have the outcomes they want relationally. You're going to be older. You're still going to be on your own. And my recommendation to everybody else is invest in pet food. Invest in drug companies that make antidepressants and antipsychotics, because these women are going to be supporting those businesses very much so.
That's another thing I do want to touch on real quick. There's this, every time I go online, women specifically want to talk about the male loneliness epidemic. Like, they're the only ones ever talking about this. And it brought me to an article about women's depression and, how modern women today have higher levels of depression on antidepressant pills more than any other women in any previous generations. And I'm like, why isn't there more coverage about that? You know what I mean? They want to paint this false narrative that women are so happy and they're happy without men. But then you look at the statistics and you see that most women in modern society is depressed, stress levels is high, on antidepressant pills, but they want to fixate on male loneliness epidemic. Men are lonely. They the only ones ever talking about. I don't hear no other men talking about they lonely. Like, it's the women trying to convince other men that they are lonely, and they want to keep having these conversations while avoiding the conversation about them being depressed. Like, what's your thoughts on that topic?
Well, Scott Galloway, he's doing a pretty decent job of trying to bring attention to the male loneliness epidemic, how boys and men are struggling in society. But even when he tries to do it in the presence of women, they end up doing a lot of what you kind of discussed. They minimize it. They shame the men. They operate from a philosophical viewpoint of, if you see women as the prize and your life's not working out, your conclusions are going to be that if I'm anxious, if I'm depressed, if life isn't going the way that I thought it should have been by now, it has to be because of the men. That's their foundational philosophical conclusion. That's how they operate. That's how they move. That's why they don't apologize. That's why they struggle with taking accountability, because they've been conditioned to think that everything that happens in life that's good is because of me and women, and everything that's bad that happens is because of a man or the men that's in my life. When you understand that, that's why you can have horrible mothers, but you don't describe them as deadbeat mothers. And that's why you have narratives. The feminization of culture has shaped every single area. And you start learning this from the moment you come out the womb as a boy and a man. One of your earliest lessons of how to view this is when it came to hitting as a kid, who don't you hit as a boy?
A girl.
That mentality is what they took and added steroids to it over the last 10, 15 years.
You're right. Yeah, great analogy.
So although it's wrong for both of us, it's more wrong when the man doesn't. And
they use that shit with everything now.
So when you take that concept and now apply it in every major area, they're not y'all try to do the whole, when you ask women about equality and fairness, they're using two totally different lenses.
For sure.
All right. So it's not that they're not, believe it or not, it's not that they tangibly see it as a contradiction. It's that I have a set of prescription reading glasses over here, and I have a set of dark shade sunglasses over here. When a woman's done it, this is how I view it. And when a man's done it, this is how I view it. That's why when Halle Berry has to pay all this money, when Mary J. Blige has to pay all this money, when there's discussions about Cardi being Offset and the potential for her to have to pay all this, it's disgusting. That's wrong. Why would you have to pay for another adult? Every talking point we made.
He's not a real man if he accepts alimony.
It's because they have totally different standards. They can hear that and they'll come up with explanations, and just some of them will come up with explanations and justify. Well, what happened to them? They were hurt. You'll see it with cheating. If cheating is one of the worst things a man can do, and they say he's disgusting, his life should be ruined, everything should be taken from him. But then you find out they got homegirls that cheated that's still in their life as friends.
For sure.
Well, he wasn't doing this and she was unhappy.
Nobody's
when you realize this as a man, this is what I call red pill. This is what they hate. All you're doing is saying the truth about the reality of how men and women tend to operate. If she's too far to the left in her mentality, she will always elevate the female in a scenario that involves a man.
Gotcha.
Once you see, you'll see it with the double standards with interracial relationships. You'll see it with double standards with abuse. You mentioned abuse earlier. You don't know that it's actually more bidirectional and that it's often more initiated from women?
I believe that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Think of it this way. If you remove men from the equation and you measure gay relationships between two men and two women, and even compare it to
Eli brings this
heterosexual,
up all the
who's
time,
at the
yeah.
top? Women on women violence. They can get away with the narrative that we're the most abusive just because we're stronger.
Yeah.
So what I'm basically suggesting is that doesn't surprise me. I won't be shocked if it's not fake. And we've seen too many other instances for us to even doubt if whether or not it is fake. The reality is there is a contingent of women that's growing, not just in the black community, but especially in the black community. That it's not about disliking black men or disliking some of their behaviors and the lack of accountability and structure and doing certain things the right way. It's that there's an actual hatred towards the men themselves. And my warning to men is it gets like this and gets this bad because when you simp, when you don't check behavior, when you give rings to women that don't deserve it, when you tolerate behaviors that you shouldn't, this is the final form. It isn't going to lead towards the outcome that you think because you keep rewarding bad behavior. You keep rewarding evil, and it's going to turn back against you in the end. If you keep aligning with them, if you keep sleeping with them, if you keep voting like them, this is why our community has gotten to the way that it's gotten. When are y'all going to wake the fuck up as men? If you are a black man still following in being led by women that think like this, which white feminists that talk like this and act like this, who do you think they align with? Black women that vote this way. Wake up. Wake the fuck up. I'm not saying that this is all women. I am saying the ideology that could even think like this is probably coming from the same group that thinks I don't need a man. I don't respect men. He got to earn my femininity. Why do I have to bring anything or why he got to expect anything from me? Bring something to the table for what? That's where this shit starts. Where you've already dehumanized you and now you're just a work mule. And then when it still doesn't work out, this is the end of where they get to. Where if we can't have you, if you're not marrying us, if you're not sticking around, if you have a kid, if you're dating out, well, now we're just going to talk to white male supremacists to see if they can do the job we can. That's what's really happening. So everybody else is claiming that I hate women. No, I'm trying to wake women up, black women up especially, and say, y'all better differentiate yourselves. Y'all better distinguish yourselves real quick. Because the men that have options are not going to put their hand in a bucket of snakes and try to find out which one is poisonous.
Yeah, for real.
These women are everywhere. They're the ones that's pushing certain things. They're pushing certain agendas, and they're the ones that's divisive, and they're the ones that will prefer that men never become in the leadership role again, politically, socially, or familially. They are anti-men and anti-male leadership. If you don't see it, if you don't wake up, if you don't get it, that's why we are in the situation we're in. So you better listen to the people that you actually don't like what they have to say. Then keep listening to all the podcasts and all the platforms that's telling you what you want to hear because they're just telling you sweet lies and it's not changing your actual fucking life.
Take that. I ain't gonna hold you.
Listen, join a Patreon, man.
Yeah, this motherfucker with the Jordan mean face right now, looking like, yo, he talking about me.
Yeah, listen. Join the Patreon, man. We got the full episode with Jeff that I promise y'all gonna need to tune in for. Dropping a lot of gems over there. And I advise every man, not just the black men only, any man, any race, just to listen to the conversation and really gain something valuable of it.
The ladies can learn too.
Ladies, for sure. Ladies can learn a lot, I promise you. Link in the description, join the Patreon, cop the merch, JellyRapperCrew.co, and we see you guys on the next one.
Make sure you support his.
I mean, these women are just full of devils, bro. I swear, man. I mean, they just full of the devils, man. It's like these females have no problem wishing death on us. Some of black men need to die and all this stuff, man. Like you oh my God, them females are disgusting, man. I mean, just oh my God, just full of white supremacists, hateful, miserable white supremacist black women out there. God damn. And what's so bad about it? You got these females in the black community who are young, listen to that hate speech, turn these young girls into hate machines. And look what ended up happening. Like that don't make any sense. I mean, that is so sick, bro. I mean, what's the point trying to talk to these females, bro? They want to keep on saying this demonic stuff. I mean, these women are just full of the devil, full of hate, hateful, miserable white supremacist black women out there trying to tell these white supremacist men to kill, murder us, and all this stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, that don't make any sense. Like, this don't make any sense, bro. I don't know why y'all keep supporting these type of women. I mean, these women are just full of hate. I mean, that don't make any sense how these females are white supremacists and black skin. Like, that don't make any sense, man. Just go show you that you got these females are white supremacists and black skin. I don't make any sense. I mean, just full of white supremacists, full of hate. I mean, just talk like a white supremacist person. Like, these females are white supremacists and black skin, bro, promote hate speech, telling these younger women to not deal with black men. I'm like, what? Oh my God. These women are full of hatred and full of white supremacists. That's why I be trying to tell you, dudes, to stay away from these type of women who talks like that. Like, you crazy? Like, that don't make any sense. Like, that don't make any sense. I mean, just full of white supremacists and black skin. Like, you gotta be out your damn mind. Like, wow. But I don't see black women ain't talking about that. Like, that don't make any sense. Oh man, it's so bad nowadays. You got these females just talk like a white supremacist person. Like, come on, man. It's like these females have no problem talking like this because you know why? Because black men not. Also, what's so bad about that? You got the sisterhood and these diabetes and them other females, the BWE movement. I ain't gonna talk about this, but oh, let the roles be reversed. If this was a if this was a black man, get on that clubhouse like what those females just did now, have those racist white women disrespect black men, talking about black women need to die and all that stuff. Guess what's gonna happen? They'll come after their ass. Their channels would have got terminated and all this stuff. They would have got shadow banned. Oh no, they would have got their channels terminated, removed from YouTube. Like, man, like that don't make any sense. Like, come on, man. I mean, that is so like, come on, man. I mean, these films are white supremacists and black skin. I mean, wow. Mm-mm. Yeah. Mm-mm. I mean, that don't make any sense. Like, that don't make any sense. I mean, it's so bad enough that you got these females talking about black men need to die and all this stuff. I mean, what's the point trying to talk to these women, bro? These women are just full of devils, man. Mm-mm-mm. Like that don't make any sense how these females can't just sit and just say some broke demonic stuff. Like that don't make any sense. Man, these females are just pitiful and evil. Just I mean, just sickening, man. It's like these females have no problem saying that demonic shit. And they gonna come on my channel talking about bashing black women. We got these females talking about black women need black men need to be in a coffin. So I'll just come out here to talk about this. So tell me your thoughts about this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'm out. Peace because these females are just pure evil, demonic, and they'll say some horrific shit talking about black men need to die and all this stuff, abort black babies and all this stuff. Like, come on now. If the roles been reversed in one men on this manuscript said abort black girl babies, that chance have got hit and terminated, and that's it. Like, so with that, I'm out. Peace, and I'll catch y'all next video, next live stream. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'm out. Peace, and I'll catch y'all next video in the next live stream.